Okay, so today I want to show you how this POS system and the backend called Dynamod manage the customer, especially if you do credit sales. So you do credit sales when you sell to business and you don't collect the payment immediately when you do the sales. Maybe you collect from the customer every 2 weeks, every month, and then you need to run the statement of account. And when the customer make payment, maybe they do not pay in full for all the previous month also. So you need to pick, or we call knock off, which invoice they are paying. Okay. So now I'm in the backend called the Dynamod application software. So here you can see that we have a customer module here. So the first thing we need to do is we set up a new customer. Okay. So for today, I just show you the existing one. So currently I already set up the first customer called ABC Sinian Berhad. So from here you can further segment your customer into various groups. Of course, for now I don't do this. So you can give the credit term, whether it's 14 days, 30 days, 2 months. You give what is the credit limit. Whether if they exceed credit limit, you can continue to sell or cannot. Okay. And then whether you allow to do the credit sales from the front end POS system. Okay. So this front end POS system is for the cashier to use. Let's say your business customer come to your retail outlet, they get something from your mini market, and then they want to pay later, maybe 1 month later. So if you allow, then they can give credit sales from the front end POS system also. Okay, and then the rest are more for e-invoice, automatic send, receipt by email. Okay, so that's not the focus for today. The second customer I have is called Berjaya. I give 14 days credit term and 20,000 credit limit. Also allow credit sales for the POS system. Once we create the customer already, then we can go to the customer module transaction. So from here, the transaction, all this is already inclusive in the basic package. So we can create quotation for the customer. So if the customer agree, if they want to make sales, then we can give a sales order. And some customer, they do not do this. They directly jump to delivery order also can. Once you create sales order, if the customer agree on when to deliver, you can do a delivery order. And then after you do delivery order, of course, if there's any return, you can delivery return, you can refund note, you give a deposit, etc. But if I talk about the very common, typical flow is quotation, sales order, go to delivery order, and then we will issue an invoice. When you issue an invoice in your account, it will show that this customer already started to earn money. After they have customer invoice, then when the time arrives, the customer will make payment, then you will issue customer receipt. And sometimes you give some rebate, some discount, you can issue credit note. Then if customer late interest, you can give a debit note. Okay. So first of all, we go to customer quotation first. So under quotation, we can just have an existing record here already. Of course, you can also do create a new record. Okay, let me open back. This is all the previous transaction that I do. So if you go to the customer quotation, you add a new one. And then the first thing you choose which customer you are doing. Let's say I'm doing for Berjaya. Okay, when doing for Berjaya, you pick a few product, what product they are buying. Okay, let's say this one and also this one. Let's do example for 2 only. Okay, chap ayam. And then you can change the quantity. We buy 100 quantity. Of course, the price here is based on the default price. We can decide every item you can put up to 5 pricing level. And then for each of the customer, you can decide which pricing level you want to apply for this customer, because you might distribute to your business different customer, different price. Okay, so this is the price one, everything confirm, you just save. So this quotation is already done. If you want to look at the preview, just click here. We can save a lot of format for the quotation. Let's say this one, I just show a very simple preview. Okay, you can edit this template actually. Then all this is already quotation. Alright. And then next one, we will flow to the sales order. If you go to the sales order, here, let me open a new one for you. Okay, you click the sales order, you will be here. Let's say you want to create a new record. So first of all, you pick who is the customer Berjaya. You can start everything from scratch, or you can directly import from the customer quotation. Okay, so they detected this Berjaya just now I created for them. You can, out of the 10 item you quote, you can do partial item also. Maybe they only want 8. So you do the sales order for the 8 item, then you go to partial item. Confirm, done, just save, very easy. Then if you preview, it's just the title is the different. Let's say I preview for you to see again. Okay, let's say I preview this one with this standard format. This is the sales order with the Berjaya. You can put address, you can put delivery address, you can put price, all this, your phone number, etc. Then the next one will be delivery order. You can skip and directly go to invoice. That one is up to your process. So the next one is delivery order. So you can create new one. You need to pick the customer. Once I pick the customer, you can import directly from quotation, or you can import from sales order. Let's say we import from the sales order. I take, maybe you issue a few quotation, but all the multiple quotation you want to lump into one sales order also can. You just take multiple only. Okay, confirm already, save. Then you have your delivery order already. Then the next one will be customer invoice. So once you have all that already, you just similarly, you do Berjaya, you pick Berjaya already. You import from the sales or delivery order now. When I import, I pick everything. Okay. Now the invoice is ready. So if you have e-invoice configured at this time, you will have the e-invoice also linked to FTN. Okay, so in this case, I didn't. Okay, if the e-invoice format, it will be something like this. This is just a format. You have supplier, buyer. This one is LSTM format. Okay, if you preview your normal standard, you pick the second one, preview the normal standard. This will be the format. Of course, it's editable. You can do a new format, edit format, create a new one, or you edit your own format. Close. So now, at this stage, you might want to look at the report. Okay, imagine you have 100 customer owing you money. You go to report. You can check all these report. You have most common one is the statement, or from the customer list document listing. You have all these print customer document, all these. Or customer listing, it will show you all the customer. You can filter by certain customer, filter by date range. Let's say I show all, I preview. Then this will be the statement for you to review. Okay, the first one, customer ABC Sinan Berhad. They have this invoice, this invoice, this invoice at this date, and then they make some payment here. Now they still owing 1090. And all this is by month. How long they owe you, since when? This one since July. Okay, July invoice. And then second one, Berjaya. This one I just created. Invoice 003. They owe 110. Okay, and then I have another Roy. Okay, so now, let's say Berjaya is making payment. You go to transaction again. Then you go to customer receipt. So sometimes when they make payment, let's say it's not Berjaya. Let's say it's another company. Let's say okay, ABC, whatever, Berjaya. Okay, they are making payment. If you have multiple invoice, you can see all those here. Then you can pick which invoice you want to knock off. Okay, knock off invoice. Because now I only have one. Apply amount, let's say is full. I just can type apply amount is the same amount as the original amount. When I add, you automatically say this payable amount is 110. Then you choose the payment method. You can create new record what payment method they are using. Let's say I say they are using Maybank IBG. Okay, once match this amount, then just save. Then you will have a receipt for your customer already. Alright, so you can generate the receipt for the customer. Okay, this is the invoice. Let's say we use this receipt in A4 paper format. So this will be the receipt for the customer. So this is the full cycle. So some of the customer, they want to allow their client to owe money from the POS system. So let's say now I come to the front end, the POS system. This is where your cashier operate, yeah. So I log in. So let's say your customer come to your shop and they want to owe money, you allow. So first of all, you need to tell the system who is the customer. Okay. Who is the customer? Let's say is ABC. I choose already. Here you see ABC already. And then assume they just select a few items. Let's say it's 100 plus and also 7-Up. Okay. And they are buying like let's say 9. Or this one they buy 100. Say they buy 100. Okay. So now they are owing you this much. But they don't pay you cash now. If you go to payment, when you maintain your new customer, if this ABC number you allow for credit sales, then this button will show. You just press this one. Then it will directly flow to the back end to be included in your statement. They will generate invoice for you as well. Let's say now I go to the back end. So this front end and back end is actually linked, and this back end is actually linked. But it will link every 30 minutes like that. So for that purpose, I just force it to synchronize now. Okay, this step you don't need to do one actually. Okay, so if we come back to the statement, customer statement listing, let's generate again. Then you will see the 469.8 from the backend is already appear, and this one with HQ blah blah blah. This is the document generated from the POS system. Okay, so that's it about the credit sales using our POS system from the Dynamod backend and also the POS system Smart POS front end.